The neon lights of Neo-Shanghai cast shifting shadows across Maya Chen's face as she hurried through the rain-slicked streets. Her worn messenger bag, filled with unsold paintings, hung heavy on her shoulder, another unsuccessful day at the Arts District. The year 2157 hadn't been kind to traditional artists, not when neural networks could generate masterpieces in seconds. She almost missed the figure huddled in the doorway of the abandoned Quantum Arcade. Almost. But something about the way the stranger's iridescent skin caught the light made her pause. The alien, clearly Centaurian by the distinctive ridge patterns on their neck, wore tattered clothes that seemed intentionally disheveled, like a costume rather than true poverty. Maya should have kept walking. Her rent was due, her pantry was empty, and her last credit chip held barely enough for a synthetic ramen dinner. But her mother's words echoed in her head, "Kindness costs nothing, little sparrow, but its absence costs everything." "Are you hungry?" Maya asked, crouching down beside the alien. "I know a place nearby that serves decent food." The alien's multifaceted eyes shifted, focusing on Maya with an intensity that made her skin prickle. "Why would you help a stranger?" The voice was melodious, with an accent Maya couldn't quite place. "Because someone once helped me," Maya replied simply, extending her hand. "I'm Maya." "You may call me Vex," the alien said, accepting Maya's hand with surprising grace. Up close, Maya noticed subtle details that seemed out of place. The material of Vex's supposedly ragged clothes was too fine, the dirt too artfully applied. The noodle shop was a hole-in-the-wall affair, tucked between a hologram parlor and a black market cybernetics store. Steam fogged the windows, and the smell of real garlic, a luxury in these times, made Maya's stomach growl. She ordered 2 bowls of the house special, spending the last of her credits without hesitation. "You are an artist," Vex observed, gesturing to Maya's bag as they waited for their food. "In these times, that requires considerable courage." Maya laughed, but there was little humor in it. "Or considerable stupidity. Nobody wants hand-painted art anymore. Not when AI can create perfect images tailored to exact specifications." "Perfect is not always better," Vex said, those strange eyes studying one of Maya's paintings that peeked from her bag. "There is beauty in imperfection, in the struggle to create something genuine." Before Maya could respond, a commotion erupted outside. 3 men in sleek corporate suits materialized from the crowd, their movements too precise to be fully human. Security cyborgs, top-of-the-line models. Vex tensed, almost imperceptibly. "It seems our meal will have to wait," they murmured, sliding gracefully from their seat. "You should leave now, Maya Chen. Thank you for your kindness." "Wait," Maya grabbed Vex's arm, surprised by the warm, silk-like texture of their skin. "Those core aren't just passing by, are they? They're looking for you." "Your perception does you credit," Vex said, a slight smile playing across their features. "But this is not your concern." Maya glanced at the cyborgs, then back at Vex. The smart thing would be to walk away. She had enough problems without getting involved in whatever this was. But Maya had never been particularly good at doing the smart thing. "There's a back exit through the kitchen," she said, gathering her bag. "The owner lets me use it sometimes when debt collectors come around. Follow me." The look Vex gave her was unreadable. "You would risk yourself for someone you just met? Someone who has likely deceived you?" "Let's just say I'm investing in karma," Maya replied, leading the way through the steamy kitchen. "Besides, anything that annoys corporate goons is probably worth doing." As they slipped into the back alley, Maya could have sworn she heard Vex make a sound that might have been laughter. "Maya Chen," they said, "you are either the most foolish or the most fascinating human I have encountered yet." The rain had intensified, drawing curtains of water across the neon-lit night. Maya pulled Vex into the shadow of a massive advertising hologram, her heart pounding as the cyborg's heavy footsteps echoed nearby. She didn't know it yet, but that simple act of kindness, sharing her last credits with a mysterious stranger, had just made Maya Chen the most important human on Earth. The experiment had begun, and the stakes were higher than she could possibly imagine. The maintenance tunnels beneath Neo-Shanghai were a maze of pipes and forgotten infrastructure, illuminated by the sickly glow of ancient emergency lights. Maya led Vex through the labyrinth with practiced ease, her footsteps sure despite the slick metal gratings beneath their feet. "You seem very familiar with these passages," Vex observed, their iridescent skin casting shifting patterns on the curved walls. Maya ducked under a low-hanging conduit. "When you can't afford grav train fare, you find alternative routes. Plus, it's easier to avoid the art licensing drones down here." "Art licensing drones?" There was genuine curiosity in Vex's musical voice. "Yeah, they scan for unauthorized creative expression." Maya's voice was bitter. "These days, you need a corporate permit to make art. They say it's to protect AI intellectual property rights, but really it's just another way to control what people create." They emerged into a vast chamber that must have once housed industrial machinery. Now it was transformed, every surface covered in illegal murals, holographic sculptures flickering in the corners, and makeshift stages constructed from salvaged materials. "Welcome to the underground gallery," Maya said, gesturing to the hidden art sanctuary. "One of the last free spaces in the city." Vex moved through the space with an almost reverent attention, those multifaceted eyes drinking in every detail. "This is extraordinary. You humans continue to create, even when forbidden. Especially when forbidden." Maya set down her bag, pulling out a small medkit. "Now, let me see your arm. You're hurt." Vex hesitated. "How did you? You've been favoring your left side since we ran." "I'm an artist, I notice details." After a moment's consideration, Vex rolled up their sleeve, revealing a gash that leaked silvery fluid. Maya tried to hide her surprise at the alien's unusual biology as she applied a synthetic skin patch. "You're not really homeless, are you?" Maya asked quietly, focusing on her work. "Those corporate cyborgs, they're not just random security." "Who are you really, Vex?" The alien was silent for a long moment, their skin shifting through subtle color patterns. "I am an observer. Part of a coalition tasked with evaluating Earth's potential membership in the Galactic Confederation." Maya's hands stilled. "Evaluating? I thought Earth was decades away from Confederation consideration." "Officially, yes." Vex's expression became troubled. "But recent events have accelerated the timeline. There are factions within the Confederation who believe Earth should be placed under direct control, citing humanity's history of conflict and environmental mismanagement." Before Maya could respond, a soft chime emanated from somewhere within Vex's ragged clothes. They pulled out a device that seemed to be made of living crystal, its surface swirling with complex patterns. "We need to move," Vex said urgently, their tone sharp. "They've detected my quantum signature." As if on cue, the distant sound of heavy boots echoed through the tunnels. But these weren't the measured steps of corporate cyborgs, this was something else. "Those aren't core," Maya said, quickly packing her medkit. "That's Chimera security. They're much worse." Vex's skin paled to an almost translucent state. "Chimera? They're not supposed to be, this is wrong. They shouldn't be here." Maya grabbed Vex's hand, pulling them toward a hidden exit. "Less talking, more running. Chimera doesn't bother with arrests or questions." They sprinted through narrowing passages, the sounds of pursuit growing closer. Maya's mind raced. Chimera Security was the personal army of Edmund Drake, the reclusive tech billionaire whose AI empire had reshaped the world. If they were involved, this was bigger than just alien observation. "Maya," Vex said as they ran, their voice strained, "there's something else you should know. The test isn't just about Earth's membership in the Confederation. It's about survival." They burst out of the tunnels into a vertical farm complex, the hydroponic gardens casting everything in a ghostly blue glow. Maya pulled them behind a massive nutrient tank, her heart pounding. What do you mean, survival? The factions I mentioned, they're not just arguing about membership. Some believe humanity is too dangerous to be allowed to develop further. They advocate for preemptive measures. Maya felt cold despite the humid air of the farm. Preemptive measures? You mean extinction, Vex confirmed grimly. Unless humanity can prove itself worthy of preservation. The sound of breaking glass above made them both freeze. Maya looked up to see dark figures rappelling down through the farm's greenhouse ceiling, their armor absorbing light like black holes. And how exactly is humanity supposed to prove itself? Maya whispered, searching for an escape route. Vex's multifaceted eyes met hers, filled with an emotion Maya couldn't quite read. Through you, Maya Chen. You were not chosen at random. Your actions, your choices, they will help determine the fate of your entire species. The Chimera operatives were closing in, their weapons charging with an ominous hum. Maya wanted to laugh at the absurdity of it all. This morning, her biggest worry had been making rent. Now she was apparently humanity's representative in a cosmic judgment. No pressure, then, she muttered, spotting a maintenance hatch behind a cluster of vertical plant beds. Ready to run again? Vex's skin rippled with what might have been appreciation. You continue to surprise me, Maya Chen. Most humans would be paralyzed by such news. Yeah, well, Maya grabbed Vex's hand again, I always work better under pressure. Now move. They dove for the hatch just as plasma bolts began to sizzle through the air, turning the hydroponic gardens into steam and chaos. As they tumbled into another level of Neo-Shanghai's endless underground, Maya realized she had just become part of something far larger than herself, and there would be no going back to her simple life of illegal art and dodging drones. The abandoned mag train station was a cathedral of rust and shadows, its vaulted ceiling lost in darkness above. Maya and Vex crouched behind a defunct ticket kiosk, catching their breath after their narrow escape through the maintenance tunnels. You said I wasn't chosen at random, Maya whispered, checking the scratch-built motion sensor she'd grabbed from the underground gallery. What did you mean? Vex's skin rippled with phosphorescent patterns, a sign of stress, Maya had learned. Your art first drew our attention. Not the technical skill, though that is considerable, but the subjects. You paint people helping each other, showing kindness in small ways. In a world dominated by corporate greed and AI efficiency, you choose to celebrate human connection. Maya almost laughed. So my failed career as an artist is somehow crucial to humanity's survival? Your perspective is what's crucial. Vex's multifaceted eyes shifted, scanning the shadows. The Confederation is divided on the human question. The pragmatists see only your species' capacity for destruction, your wars, your environmental devastation. They advocate for containment or elimination. But there are others, like myself, who see potential. We believe humanity's greatest strength lies not in your technology or your resilience, but in your capacity for empathy. A distant clang echoed through the station. Maya's sensor showed multiple signatures approaching from the north tunnel. We've got company. At least 6 heat signatures, moving in formation. Chimera tactical team, Vex confirmed, their voice tense. But they shouldn't be able to track us. Unless. Their skin paled. Unless they have help from off-world. You mean there are aliens working with Edmund Drake? The pragmatists would consider it a reasonable compromise, allow one human power structure to dominate Earth, keeping humanity contained and controlled. Vex's expression darkened. Drake's AI empire would become the perfect prison wardens. Maya processed this as they moved deeper into the station, staying low behind abandoned cargo containers. So Drake gets alien tech and total control, and these pragmatists get a neutered humanity that can't threaten their galactic order. Convenient. Precisely. But it would mean the end of everything that makes humanity unique. Your art, your creativity, your freedom to evolve and grow, all would be suppressed in the name of security. They reached a maintenance door, its electronic lock long dead. Maya pulled a small device from her bag, another underground gallery special, and pressed it against the lock. The door slid open with a reluctant hiss. "That's why you're really here, isn't you?" Maya asked as they slipped through. "Not just to observe, but to find evidence that humanity deserves a different fate." Before Vex could respond, a plasma bolt sizzled past, leaving a glowing hole in the wall. They sprinted down the maintenance corridor as more shots followed, the air filling with the scent of ozone. "This way." Maya grabbed Vex's arm, pulling them into a side passage. "The old pneumatic waste system. It'll take us up to the surface." "Maya," Vex said urgently as they ran, "there's something else you need to know. The decision about Earth's fate, it's not just about observation. There's a test, a specific challenge that will determine everything." They reached a junction where massive tubes disappeared into the ceiling. Maya began entering commands into an ancient control panel. "What kind of test?" "A choice. One that will prove whether humanity's capacity for empathy can overcome its self-interest." Vex's skin swirled with complex patterns. "But it must be genuine, uncoerced. If you know the parameters dash." A thunderous explosion cut them off as the wall behind them disintegrated. Through the smoke stepped a figure that seemed to absorb light, a chimera operative in next-gen stealth armor. But what made Maya's blood run cold was the alien technology grafted onto the suit, giving it an otherworldly, predatory appearance. Agent Vex, the figure's voice was artificially deep, distorted. "By authority of the Pragmatist Coalition and Earth Central Corporate Authority, you are ordered to terminate this unauthorized interaction." Vex stepped forward, their forms seeming to grow more imposing. "You overstep, Agent. This observation falls within established protocols." "Protocols have changed." The operative raised a weapon that hummed with alien energy. "The human subject is now classified as a contaminating influence. Termination authorized." Maya saw the weapon charging, saw Vex moving to shield her, and made a split-second decision. She slammed her palm down on the control panel. With a tremendous roar, the pneumatic system engaged, powerful suction pulling them up into the transport tubes. The last thing she saw before darkness took them was the Chimera operative's shot hitting the spot where they'd stood, turning the metal floor into molten slag. They were fired through the tubes like bullets, the old system groaning under the strain. Maya felt Vex's arms around her, their alien strength protecting her from the worst impacts as they pinballed through the city's guts. Finally, they shot out of an abandoned output port, rolling onto a rooftop garden 30 stories above Neo-Shanghai. The neon-stained clouds hung low overhead, threatening more rain. Maya sat up, groaning. "So, to summarize, there's a faction of aliens who want to wipe out humanity, they're working with Earth's biggest tech billionaire, and now they're trying to kill us because I might be humanity's best hope for survival. Did I miss anything?" Vex, their elegant features covered in dust, actually smiled. "You forgot the part where you just saved our lives using deprecated waste management technology. That was unexpected. Story of my life lately." Maya stood, offering Vex a hand up. "So what now?" "Now," Vex said, their expression growing serious, "we find proof that humanity deserves to survive. And we do it before the pragmatists decide to take more direct action." In the distance, emergency sirens began to wail. Above, the first drops of rain began to fall. And somewhere in the vast city below, forces both human and alien were mobilizing to stop them. Maya touched the worn strap of her art bag, thinking of all the paintings inside, small moments of human kindness captured on canvas. "Well," she said, "we better get started." The safe house was hidden in plain sight, a small art gallery in the middle levels of Neo-Shanghai, its windows dark and its sign advertising AI-generated masterpieces. Maya couldn't help but appreciate the irony as she and Vex slipped inside through a back entrance. The interior was surprisingly warm, filled with actual physical paintings rather than the usual holographic displays. As Vex activated hidden security systems, Maya found herself drawn to a particular canvas. It showed Earth as seen from orbit, but rendered in a style she'd never encountered before, with colors that seemed to shift and move when she wasn't looking directly at them. Centaurian Neo-Impressionism, Vex said, moving to stand beside her. The artist tried to capture how your world appears to non-human eyes. It's beautiful, Maya said, then noticed something odd about the frame. Wait, this isn't just art, is it? Very observant. Vex pressed a series of points around the frame, and the painting slid aside to reveal a sophisticated communications array. This gallery is one of our observation posts. We've been monitoring humanity's development from here for decades. Maya watched as Vex began interfacing with the alien technology, their fingers dancing over surfaces that rippled like liquid crystal. How many other observers are there? There were 12 of us, stationed at similar posts around your world. Vex's skin darkened with concern. But I've lost contact with most of them in the past few hours. The pragmatists are moving faster than we anticipated. A holographic display sprang to life, showing a map of Earth dotted with pulsing lights. Most were dark or flashing red. Only 3 still glowed steady blue. Those who oppose the pragmatists' plans, we call ourselves the preservers, Vex explained. We believe that younger species should be given the chance to grow, to learn from their mistakes. The pragmatists see only the potential threats, the worst possible outcomes. And Edmund Drake? How does he fit into all this? Vex's expression grew troubled. Drake is a contingency. The pragmatists approached him years ago, offering advanced AI technology in exchange for his cooperation. If they can't convince the Confederation to eliminate humanity entirely, they'll settle for controlling you through Drake's corporate empire. A humanity bound by AI restrictions, monitored constantly, unable to develop in any way the pragmatists deem threatening. Maya thought of the art licensing drones, the creative restrictions, the growing corporate control over every aspect of life. It's already starting, isn't it? This isn't just about some future threat, they're already trying to cage us. Yes. And Drake's new quantum AI network would be the perfect tool to dash. Vex stopped suddenly, their skin paling to an almost translucent state. No. No, this isn't possible. The holographic display was changing, showing new data that Maya couldn't read but that clearly terrified Vex. What is it? What's wrong? The pragmatists, they're not waiting for the Confederation's decision. They're activating something in orbit. Vex's hands moved frantically over the controls. A quantum cascade device. If triggered, it would rewrite the fundamental laws of physics within Earth's atmosphere. Organic chemistry would become impossible. All life on Earth would simply stop. Maya felt the blood drain from her face. How long? Hours at most. They're using Drake's quantum network to distribute the initiators. Vex turned to face her, their multifaceted eyes intense. This is it, Maya. The real test. Not just of you, but of humanity itself. What do you mean? The device can be stopped, but doing so would require sacrificing Drake's entire AI network, the backbone of Earth's current civilization. Your world would survive, but would be thrown into chaos. Technology would fail, economies would collapse. Humanity would have to rebuild from scratch. Maya's mind raced. And the other option? Accept the pragmatists' control. Submit to total AI oversight. Survive, but without true freedom. Without art, without creativity, without the very things that make you human. Outside, the gallery's windows lit up with sudden brightness. They rushed to look out, seeing massive holograms appearing across the city. Edmund Drake's face, larger than life, looked down upon Neo-Shanghai. Citizens of Earth, his voice boomed through the city's public address system, today we take our next great step forward. The age of human chaos is ending. The age of perfect order begins. Maya watched as people in the streets below stopped to stare up at the announcement. Some cheered. Others looked uncertain. Security drones were already moving into position above the crowds. How long until the device is fully activated? She asked, her voice steady despite her racing heart. 2 hours, maybe less. Vex's skin swirled with complex patterns. Maya, you need to understand, this is the choice. This is the test. Not just for you, but for all humanity. What matters more, survival at any cost, or the freedom to determine your own destiny, even if that means facing destruction? Maya turned away from the window, her eyes falling on her worn art bag. Inside were her paintings, small moments of human kindness, courage, and connection captured on canvas. Pieces of humanity's soul, preserved in pigment and passion. You said the device is connected to Drake's quantum network, she said slowly. And Drake's headquarters is at the top of the corporate spire, right in the center of the city. Yes, but it's impenetrable. The security dash. Security doesn't matter, Maya interrupted, a plan forming in her mind. Because we're not going to break in. They're going to invite us in. Vex's skin rippled with confusion. What do you mean? Maya opened her bag, pulling out her paintings. You said the pragmatists have been watching us, judging us. Well, it's time to show them what humanity really is. Not through violence or technology, but through art. Through truth. She looked up at Vex, her eyes bright with determination. I need your help. And we're going to need every artist in the underground gallery. It's time to remind people what they're really fighting for. As if in response, Drake's voice boomed again outside, the future is ordered. The future is controlled. The future is secure. The corporate spire pierced the neon-stained clouds like a needle of chrome and glass, its quantum-powered lights pulsing with an artificial heartbeat. At its base, thousands of people gathered, their faces turned upward at the massive holograms of Edmund Drake promising a future of perfect order. But other images were appearing now, spreading across the city's vast network of advertising displays. Paintings, hundreds of them, created by the artists of the underground gallery. Not digital art or AI creations, but real paintings showing moments of human connection. A child sharing food with a stranger. An old woman teaching young people to plant a rooftop garden. Workers helping each other through hardship. Maya stood in the crowd, her heart pounding as her own paintings joined the cascade of images. Beside her, Vex's skin rippled with barely contained emotion. Your people are responding, the alien observer said softly. Look. The crowd was changing. The initial cheers for Drake's message of order were being replaced by murmurs of recognition, of remembrance. People pointed at the artworks, sharing memories of their own moments of connection and kindness. Drake's AI network doesn't just control our technology, Maya said, watching the reaction spread. It connects every screen, every hologram in the city. Perfect for spreading his message of control. Or for showing people what they're about to lose, Vex finished. But the pragmatists won't simply wait and watch. They'll dash. The art vanished from the displays, replaced by emergency warnings and security alerts. Drone patrols descended from above, their sensors scanning the crowd. Maya felt Vex tense beside her. Chimera units incoming, the alien warned. They'll try to disperse the crowd. Maya smiled. That's exactly what we want them to do. The security forces arrived in force, their hybrid armor gleaming. They began pushing into the crowd, ordering people to return to their homes. But instead of dispersing, the crowd held its ground. More than that, people were pulling out their own artwork, holding up physical paintings and sculptures, sharing creative works that had been hidden away. You see, Maya said to Vex. You can't control creativity. You can't cage the human spirit. Not really. High above, Drake's hologram flickered with rage. This disorder ends now. The age of human chaos is over. Initiate the quantum cascade. The air itself seemed to vibrate as the device in orbit began powering up. People looked up in fear as strange lights began to dance in the clouds. But then something unexpected happened. The corporate spire's quantum network, the very system meant to help trigger humanity's extinction, began to change. Every screen, every hologram in the city suddenly filled with art. Not just the paintings from the underground gallery, but millions of pieces of creative expression uploaded by people throughout Neo-Shanghai. Art, music, dance, poetry, a tidal wave of human creativity overwhelming the AI controls. The network, Vex breathed. It's overloading. But how? Did you really think I came here just to show some paintings? Maya pulled out a small device, another underground gallery special. While everyone was looking at the art, our best hackers were using Drake's own network to spread a virus. Not to destroy the system, but to make it show everyone what it means to be human. The quantum cascade device's energy signature began to fluctuate as Drake's network crashed under the weight of millions of people sharing their creative spirit simultaneously. Above, the pragmatist's weapon began to destabilize. Maya, Vex's skin pulsed with urgent patterns, the device, without the network to control it, it's going to detonate prematurely. The feedback could tear apart the planet's atmosphere. Unless someone shuts it down manually, Maya said quietly. From up there. She looked pointedly at the top of the corporate spire. Vex's eyes widened. You planned this. All of it. The art was never just a distraction, it was proof. Proof that humanity's creativity, its willingness to face destruction rather than submit. Proof that we deserve a chance, Maya finished. Now, can you get us up there or not? What followed would be remembered as the night of 1,000 colors. As Maya and Vex fought their way up the corporate spire, past security systems, through quantum firewalls, and finally facing Drake himself, the people below continued their creative revolution. Every attempt to shut down their expression only led to new, more innovative ways to share their humanity. In the end, it wasn't Maya's hand that shut down the quantum cascade device. It was Drake himself, faced with the choice between perfect order and the beautiful chaos of human creativity. In that moment, seeing his life's work of control being transformed into a canvas for human expression, something in him changed. You were right, he said as the device powered down, his eyes fixed on the extraordinary scene below. We can't cage the human spirit. We can only help it grow. Hours later, Maya stood with Vex on the observation deck of the corporate spire, watching the sunrise over a changed Neo-Shanghai. The pragmatist's weapon had been dismantled, their allies on Earth exposed. Drake's AI network was being reprogrammed, transformed from a tool of control into a platform for creative expression. The Confederation will be interested in these events, Vex said, their skin glowing with warm colors. A species willing to risk extinction to preserve its creative freedom. That demonstrates a type of strength we hadn't considered. And the test? Maya asked. Did humanity pass? Vex turned to her, those multifaceted eyes reflecting the dawn. Maya Chen, your species didn't just pass the test. You rewrote it. You showed us that true civilization isn't measured by order or control, but by the capacity to create, to connect, to change. Below, the city was awakening. Already, new art was appearing on buildings and in the sky, not hidden away, but celebrated. The age of perfect order had been rejected, replaced by something far more precious, the freedom to be imperfectly, beautifully human. So what happens now? Maya asked, touching the strap of her art bag, the simple tool that had helped save humanity. Now, Vex said, their skin shimmering with what Maya had learned was joy, we see what humanity creates next. And I, for one, cannot wait to observe it. The sun rose higher, its light catching on the millions of artworks displayed throughout the city, creating a symphony of color and creativity that could be seen from orbit. A signal to the galaxy that humanity had chosen its path, not one of perfect order, but of endless possibility. And somewhere in the underground gallery, a new painting was taking shape on Maya's canvas, a vision of Earth's future, where art and technology, chaos and order, human and alien all dance together in beautiful harmony. The first stroke of humanity's next great adventure.